The Now Morning Show right here on TTT. It's hour number 2 and we have so much in store for you. So we are looking forward to sharing everything. And now, first off, we're going to be speaking about books that you must read. So chatting with me this morning is author Kyana Bowen, and we're going to be speaking about her book that is called The Caribbean and Me. So right on the heels of World Literacy Day, one day away, we feature another episode of our must-read book segment. All right, so Kyana, good morning. Welcome to the Now Morning Show.
Good morning, and thank you, Carrie. Thank you for having me. And you're correct, it's definitely a must-read book.
Yeah, I like that. I like the confidence because you know that the work that has come, out of it. But before we go into the book itself, tell us a little about yourself and your journey up to this point as an author.
Sure. So basically, I work in disaster management, and the lead up to this book really hasn't to do anything with my career. It was basically my son and Weze. One day we were having a conversation, and he said to me, he said, "Mommy, can we go to Hawaii?" So I said, "Hawaii? Why you want to go to Hawaii?"
Right.
He said, "Because there are beautiful beaches there." So I was like, "But we have beautiful beaches right here
Right.
in the Caribbean." And actually, we were in Turks and Caicos that day. So I said to him, "Okay, I'll take you to a beautiful beach this afternoon." And there we went down to Sapodilla Bay. But the conversation never left me. So I began researching tools that he could use to learn about the Caribbean, because I understand that children need to know and value what we have right here in our own backyards.
That's right.
So I realized that we did not have anything dedicated to the Caribbean alone. So that itself made me and really motivated me to write in the Caribbean and me.
So aside from the motivation, it would have taken quite a bit of work to get all the information and compile it and then put it into the format of this book that is, geared toward children and helping educate them about the Caribbean. What was the process like to, get all the information together and then compile it?
You're correct. I started by doing a lot of research online. And even I have a number of contacts across the islands. I began asking them questions about their country to ensure that I have the facts correct. Because you might read something online, and when you actually speak to somebody from the country, it's totally different. I also use curriculum guides from the ministries of educations around the region.
Right.
Taking into consideration the age group that I'm targeting, I looked at those curriculum guides to guide me along what the children should be learning and how they should be interacting with the book. So, for example, I use the letters of the alphabet as areas where they can identify specific culture, specific traditions within a country.
Right.
So, for example, I use the letter N to describe nature, because all of us can agree that the Caribbean has a rich nature.
Very true.
And there in the book, when it's at N at nature, Koto, because the book is around two characters, Koto and Zari, they essentially bring the book to life, right? So I used Koto going to Dominica, because most of us may also know that the Commonwealth of Dominica is known as the Nature Island.
Right.
So Koto visits Dominica when he reached the letter N, and he shares his experiences with Zari. But I don't want to give out too much of the storyline because I want persons to read it.
But of course, we have to tease a little bit. I mean, we're not
Yes.
going to give them everything, but we do want to encourage people to go out there and see the value of the book. So let's speak a little more on the topic of why we need to teach children more about the Caribbean and give them more to look forward to coming out of the Caribbean, because again, this is where we live, this is where we're from, and we should be educated, one, about it, and two, proud of it. So tell us a little bit more about why you believe this book is instrumental in teaching about that.
I think if you have to change a culture and to get it thinking in a certain way, we have to start with our children, right? And if you look at a regional level, what is happening with respect to our CARICOM integration, as well as the CSME market that we're trying to promote, for children to be able to understand and value the need to stay within the region and work there, we also need to expose them to this type of material from as small as possible.
Now, do you believe that there may be a little lack of national or regional pride, because of, other influences, let's say the media and stuff like that? Let's say cable TV, where we'd get a lot of content from, the US, Europe, and things like that. And, do you think we need to do more here in the Caribbean to really uplift ourselves?
Yes, we certainly need to do more. And that is what extended from the conversation I had with my son because he saw Hawaii via a YouTube video while he was watching YouTube,
Right.
basically. So if we do more as a people and as a country and as parents as well, because it has to start at home, right? Children will be able to appreciate and understand and value what we have here in the Caribbean and also strive to achieve sustainable development in the future.
Definitely. Now, where can we find your book?
Okay, so right now, given the physical distancing measures that we have in place, it's available online via the author website, which is learncaribbean.com.
Wonderful.
For persons who are in Trinidad and Tobago, you are allowed to use that website. If you're not in Trinidad and Tobago, you can also use Amazon or Barnes and Noble. Yes,
Oh,
you can just
wow.
search the Caribbean and me, as well as my name, and it will come up, and you could also order it there.
That is
Oh, to
wonderful news.
also mention, I will be doing a road show with Price Mart in October, which will encourage something similar to a pop-up shop, as most of us may know,
Right.
at the 4 Price Mart Club locations in October. So persons can look out for that as well if they don't have online access. But just to be sure, if you are in Trinidad and Tobago and you do order online, you wouldn't have to pay online. So you can order online and we can arrange payment otherwise upon delivery.
Oh, that's great. And let's speak a little more about the roadshow coming up with PriceMart there. So, would there be like seated author readings where you would read to a group of people who come together and attend the roadshow?
Yes, we are trying to do that. But however, given the physical distancing measures that are in place, I would not want to encourage a gathering and a reading to have that in-person contact with children, especially.
Right. That's right.
So yes, what I might possibly do is do an online reading via Instagram. My Instagram handle is at learncaribbean.com. So I encourage persons to follow to keep abreast to see if we are having any online readings coming up soon. Because to also mention, the book is officially going to be launched on September 21st. So you have the opportunity to pre-order. You can be ahead of the game,
Right.
or you can wait until September 21st when we have an online launch.
That is great news. That's a lot to look forward to. And now I want to know what is next for you, Kyana.
Oh, well, I did not mention, but I'm glad you asked. The Caribbean and Me is part one of a three-part book series.
Ah,
So coming up next, we have two parts that should be released in 2021. So I encourage persons to look out for that because I'm sure after reading part one, you definitely want to keep up with Koto and Zari.
I could only imagine. And
Yes.
again, so you said it can be purchased online via Amazon and Barnes and Noble if you're international outside of Trinidad and Tobago. And what was the first website you gave?
LearnCaribbean.com. That's the author website.
The author website, so we can find the book there, and of course, get children engaged in it and really start, from the ground up, getting that education and information about the Caribbean and why we should be proud of it.
Yes, definitely.
And if there was
Definitely.
if there was one message you wanted to leave with a parent watching, not a child, if you wanted to leave one message with a parent, what would you tell them?
Start from as early as possible. Reading and literacy is important. Writing, speaking, and also social skills is important for us here within Trinidad and Tobago, as well as within the regional context and even in the international context. The
And
sky is the limit.
the sky is the limit. And for maybe somebody who is watching right now who might be considering becoming an author, might consider writing a book, what advice would you give them as an author?
Okay, so it's not easy. Keep at it. Use your contact. You can even reach out to me via my handles as well. Continue reading because to be a good writer, you have to be a good reader to begin with. Continue to read and ask questions as much as possible and just keep abreast as to what is happening within locally and within the region.
Or that is such great advice there. And, who knows, maybe one day I'll take that advice myself and write something.
Yes, and I look forward to that, Carrie.
All right, well, with that, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning, Kyana Bowen. And congratulations on your brand new book. And we're looking forward to the rest of the series as well. I want to wish you great success with this book and, all the best moving forward.
And thank you so much, Carrie, and to the Now Morning Show for having me. Thank you.
All right, take care.